my beautiful people. So today's reading is all about you. And what I mean by that is there's something either that you're not acknowledging about yourself or trying to ignore about yourself. Might be something that is blocking you in some way, shape or form. It could be anything. We'll see as we get into each reading. As you can see, these are our three groups today. We've got the King of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords and the World. As always, pick which one you are most drawn to. I'm also going to select a crystal for each group to give us some more information about you and the energies. I apologize for the noise. Okay, so group one, you have a carnelian heart. Group two, you have this lapis lazuli. And group three, you have malachite. So I shall see you all on the other side. Hello, group one. So you've chosen the King of Pentacles card and or this carnelian heart. I'd like to apologise for this terrible nail, by the way. Please ignore it. So what's very interesting from the get-go, the King of Pentacles is a very stable energy. You've got the earth signs, so Aries, Taurus, Capricorn. You may have those placements, you may not. I'm really drawn to the fact that how the pentacle here is like within the third eye. Apologies for the noise that you might be able to hear in the background. It sounds like one of my neighbours is having some kind of karaoke party. It's not good. I don't think they'll be winning X Factor anytime soon. So I feel that money is on your mind, definitely. I feel that maybe you're someone who is presenting on the outside very well put together. Everything is going well. You might have a very good job, you know, a nice car, nice home. But I think beneath the surface, there's something going on. And we have the carnelian crystal. So carnelian is linked to the sacral chakra, which if this particular chakra isn't grounded, is blocked, for example, things are going to be unstable energy, you know. You might be suffering with anxiety, stress, things like that, which is interesting because, as I said, the King of Pentacles is actually a very stable energy. So for you to have the carnelian, it's suggesting to me that it's your sacral chakra that might be blocked. And as I said, things might seem on the outside, on the surface, very good, very well, but internally, not so much. But let's see what the rest of your reading says. The Seven of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Six of Cups. Wow. This is definitely something to do with emotions, feelings, perhaps a relationship. And you've got the Hanged Man. And then on the back of the deck, we have the Four of Pentacles. I'm just going to pull some clarifiers. No, or apparently they're going to pull themselves. So you've got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Got the Eight of Wands in reverse. The Two of Swords in reverse. Oh, sorry, the Ten of Swords in reverse. Beg your pardon. Put that this way. Got the High Priest. The Seven of Swords. And the back we've got the Five of Wands. think for a lot of you, maybe you have fallen out with or separated from a partner. How recently, I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's very clear here that you were trying to work on things, but it just wasn't working. You believed this person was your soulmate, and for whatever reason, it's come to an end, and you're not letting go of this. I mean, we've got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. What I like, these are the only cards that I will read the reversals for, because they all have messages on. So it says upheaval, setbacks, and bad luck. Now, I personally don't believe in bad or good luck. I think it's kind of based on your own energy. But I believe at this stage, this is where you would perhaps trying to work on the connection. Because the Seven of Pentacles is when something is in its infancy. Something is growing, but it's not quite ready to be harvested. You got the Three of Cups, which could have been, which is like kind of like fun times, dating, going out. Clarified by the Eight of Wands, saying waiting on a sign, bad timing and delays. You got the Ace of Cups clarified by the Ten of Swords, but the Ten of Swords is in reverse, which is actually a positive. Rising above, surviving disaster, worst is over. You got the Six of Cups clarified by the High Priest. Knowledge, sharing, beliefs and fellowship. And then you've got the Hangman clarified by the Seven of Swords. Coming clean, fresh start, rethinking your approach. Now, the Seven of Swords is often quite, I don't want to say negative card. It usually, if it was in, it often represents someone being sneaky, basically. Someone doing something behind somebody's back. Someone being deceptive. Now, obviously, I don't know your circumstances. But for some of you, perhaps maybe a partner cheated on you or something. I mean, this doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a friendship, a work colleague, something. It could even be work, maybe you got looked over for a promotion or something like that. But whatever this is, it's something that meant a great deal to you. And it's something that you were trying to work on, and either the other person wasn't prepared to do so, or it just didn't work. But you're not letting go of it. That's what this Four of Pentacles is clearly showing. And it's clarified, and on the back of the clarifiers, you've got the Five of Wands, which is about conflict, clash of egos and fights. I kind of see it as though maybe you're reflecting on maybe perhaps these types of things that happened within the relationship. Thinking about what you should have said, what you should have done, etc, etc. Who am I to give advice to anybody, especially about relationships? But I think if you haven't already, I think you should be speaking to people about how it is you are truly feeling, that you're not over it yet. I mean, even if this happened like a couple of years ago or what have you, and you feel like, oh, I should be over it by now. No, everyone takes their own time, their own journey. But I feel like you should be sharing it, because as I say, I feel like you're kind of holding on to whatever this is. And it's ultimately preventing you from moving forward in life. It's not just in, finding potentially another partner or relationship or job or whatever it is. I feel it's blocking you from everything. You are in the Hanged Man position. You're just stagnant. But I like that it is clarified by this Seven of Swords in reverse. Now, the coming clean part might be relevant to some people, might not be, but it's specifically the fresh start and the rethinking your approach. Because the Hanged Man can also represent about a change of perspective seen. So I feel for a lot of you, even though you are kind of in this Four of Pentacles energy and this Hangman energy, you are starting to at least consider moving forward or taking alternative actions. I do feel that because this Ten of Swords is in reverse, that this is something that has happened in the past, maybe 12 months plus ago. However, as I say, everyone does things at their own pace. You know, there's no rule on how long it takes for someone to get over something, but it does feel like you are in a space, or at least come into a space where you can move on from this. So I'm going to close out with some advice from your guides, some channeled messages. Group 1 is the advice. You've got you're safe, spirit is looking out for you. You've got third quarter, I can achieve balance. Picking up these cards is difficult enough, let alone when you've got these nails. But then when you've got one missing, it's not so easy. And you've got waxing crescent moon. My actions are taking me towards my goals. And I want to take one more. I'm going to take that one as well. Why not? We've got learning. Your mistakes make you wiser. Okay. And full moon. My instincts are to be trusted. Now I like this as well because the full moon is when we tend to cleanse our energies. If you don't already do those kinds of things, I would recommend personally, but you don't obviously have to. Whenever the next full moon is, I would just write down on a piece of paper what it is you want to let go of. You know, it can be anything. It can be negative thoughts. It can be holding on to this relationship, or whatever it is. Write it down on a piece of paper, and assuming everyone watching is an adult, otherwise please get parental supervision. Burn it. Obviously be very careful. You don't have to burn it, you can just rip it up. You can just rip up and throw it away. I personally like to burn, but that's just me. But obviously only do it if it's safe to do so. And finally, your channeled messages from your guides. I already have an idea of what some of them are going to be. We've got what are you waiting for? Divine timing. Please enjoy my wonderful drawings, by the way. If anyone would like a personal drawing, please feel free to contact me and I will make it for you. Stop asking, be present. And we are listening. Now, I'm going to point it out anyway, even though it's clearly obvious. This is an ear. So, group 1, I hope that was helpful in some way, shape or form. And I hope everything works out for you. And of course, you don't have to listen to a single thing I've said. Do whatever feels right for you. Just keep safe, look after yourself, and take care. Wishing you all the best. Hello, group 2. So you either picked the 9 of Swords or this lapis lazuli. So the 9 of Swords is all about generally kind of anxiety and stress that we're harbouring internally. A lot of the time it tends to keep us up at night. With the moon, it's showing it's beneath the surface, and how it's depicted in this card, it's like the mother bear is watching over, stressed about potential predators, things that could go wrong, whereas the baby bear is completely sound asleep, safe as anything, because he knows his mum's got him. And I feel that is how the situation is for a lot of you. I feel you're stressing and over observing certain things, anxious, overthinking basically, and you're not necessarily sharing that with somebody else or other people. This could be related to work, a partner, or even a child, in order to protect them from having to worry about it. You think, you know, you need to take everything on. With the lapis lazuli, so the lapis lazuli is linked to both the third eye and the throat chakra, which is just further confirmation that there is lack of communication. And with it being linked to the third eye, I would say for a lot of you, that's probably a blocked chakra for you at the moment, and you're not receiving the messages from your spirit guides or the universe as clearly or at all at the moment, because you're too in your head about things. So let's see what the rest of this reading has for you, and hopefully we can get some answers. So your first card is the Wheel of Fortune. Second card is the Seven of Wands. Followed by the King of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, and Death. So please don't worry about death. Death doesn't generally mean death in tarot. And on the back of the deck, you've got the Six of Cups. I'm just going to pull some clarifiers to get some further information. So we've got the King of Cups in reverse. The Fool. The Magician. The Tower. And the Five of Cups. And then on the back of the deck, we've got the Star. Okay. Making sure it's all in shot. So, also I apologise for my broken nail. Please pretend it doesn't exist. Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is constantly turning in our lives. Sometimes we're on the top, sometimes we're on the bottom. With being clarified by the King of Cups in reverse, which says overly emotional, depressed and unbalanced. I think for a lot of you, you're either on the bottom or kind of somewhere in between, or at least that's how you're feeling at the moment. You've got the Seven of Wands, which is all about fighting, defending, feeling like you're on your own in doing so. It's clarified by the Fool, which is all about new beginnings. So innocence, new beginnings, and leap of faith. So I feel for a lot of you, you know what it is you need to do in order to essentially unburden yourself You don't have to keep fighting on your own. You need to take a leap of faith. You've got the King of Pentacles clarified by the Magician, which is a really interesting combination, because this is showing me that generally you are a very stable, grounded person. And with the Magician is basically being able to manifest things. So you got resourcefulness, manifestation, make things happen. And that is generally the type of person you are. And whatever it is that's going on has kind of unsettled you and knocked you off of your throne, essentially. But you are still that person, 100%, especially with it being directly in the middle of the reading. You got the Ten of Cups, which is all about emotional fulfillment, clarified by the Tower, which says upheaval, destruction, and catastrophe. Now, which I know sounds terrible on its own, but it's not as bad as that sounds. I always view the Tower as a warning, where you know what it is you need to do, you know what the change is that you need to make. And if you choose not to do that, then the universe is going to intervene and push you towards and onto that path. Now, we do have free will, and obviously we can do what we want. We don't have to do anything. However, there are certain things in our lives that I personally believe are predestined, and whatever this is something that you need to do. It's about personal growth, I think, for a lot of you. So, I mean, with the King of Pentacles, I mean, you're linked to earth energy. So you got Taurus, Capricorn, and where's my brain gone? Taurus, Capricorn. Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. Sorry about that. So Taurus is a fixed sign. And we know traditionally Taurus is known to be very stubborn. And I feel for a lot of you that is what is happening here. I feel you're being presented with a possible opportunity and you're not taking it because it's something that's potentially going to be out of your control. And then you've got death clarified by the Five of Cups. So death, again, is not too dissimilar to the Fool. It's about the end of something. Something has come to an end or will be coming to an end, but it's for a positive reason. It's something, you know, things have to end in order for something new to come in. You know, as they say, when one door closes, another opens, and that's exactly what is the case with death. It's clarified by the Five of Cups. Now, the Five of Cups is often about regret, guilt, focused on loss, unwelcome changes, and trauma. So I feel for a lot of you, you're kind of essentially blocking this new beginning by not communicating to the people around you or the specific person that it needs to be what it is that you need to tell them or how it is that you feel. You had the Six of Cups on the back. So the Six of Cups is a very nostalgic energy, often linked to childhood, and it can be linked to like soulmates and things like that. Now, we all have soulmates, many soulmates, and a soulmate isn't necessarily somebody that, you know, is the love of your life. You know, your best friend can be a soulmate, even your mum, your brother, your sister, it can be a soulmate. It's just somebody that is from the same soul family as you. It's clarified by the Star, which is really nice because the Star is all about essentially kind of like wishes come true, you know, renewal, healing. So the outcome is very positive for you. It's a lot of new beginnings and changes coming your way, but you're blocking them currently by not doing what it is you need to do, by overthinking everything, by not sharing what it is that you need to share with people around you or a specific person. So we're going to finish off with some messages and advice. Okay, so we have first quarter with I have the courage to keep going. We have energy, protect your energy, focus it wisely. Absolutely. We have full moon, I am reaching my highest potential. And the waxing gibbous moon, I trust that the path I'm on is the right one. Okay, now the full moon is linked to cleansing our energy, releasing things that no longer serve us. And I personally on full moons try to do that. What I personally do is I'll write down the things that I'm trying to release, my limiting beliefs, things that are blocking me, and I'll then read it out to the moon and then I burn it. Now, obviously, if you're under 18, please make sure you get someone to supervise you and do it safely if that is what you're going to do. You don't have to burn it. You can literally just rip it up and throw it away. It's the same thing. I just personally like to burn things because I'm eccentric and like to be dramatic. So these are messages from your guides. So you've got You're Never Alone. It's coming. So if there's something specific that you're trying to manifest, for example, obviously just take what resonates. Stop ignoring us. See, I told you that some of you weren't either receiving the messages or understanding them. And one more. Okay, this one wants to come out as well, so I want to take it. You've got no, so that's potentially if you know what that means, you know what it means. If it doesn't, if you don't have no idea what that means, then it's not a message for you. And then you've got believe in yourself, we do, which is very cute. So group number 2, I hope that was helpful and I hope you move on positively and things work out for you. It looks like there's definitely that opportunity there. It just seems that you're the one preventing yourself from doing it. But of course, you don't have to do anything I've suggested because I'm just a talking pair of hands on the internet. I wish you all the best. Take care and good luck. Hi, group 3. So you chose the world card and or this malachite crystal. So the world is the very last card in the deck. In tarot traditionally, and so I feel you're closing a big chapter and or about to embark on a brand new one, which is emphasized further by the fact you have the malachite crystal here, because this is known as the stone of transformation. It's linked to our heart chakra and also our solar plexus chakra, so it will help open up our hearts to more compassion, emotional equilibrium, and also helps give us more confidence, inner strength and determination. So I feel a lot of you are on some kind of new journey or about to embark on a new journey, whether that's a new job, a new relationship, maybe moving somewhere. So let's see what the tarot has to say. First card, or cards apparently, are, so we got the Knight of Pentacles, the Lovers and Strength, the Queen of Pentacles. Maybe for one more. And the Fool. And then the back of the deck we've got the Sun. Wow. This is a really nice, positive reading. Clarifiers. But I think the message is pretty clear here, to be perfectly honest, but nevertheless. We have the Emperor and the Six of Coins in reverse. We have Queen of Cups in reverse, Five of Coins in reverse, and the Queen of Coins in reverse, which is very interesting. And then the back of the deck, we've got the Moon in reverse, which is crazy, the fact you've got the Sun and the Moon. Group 3. Firstly, I'd like to apologise for my nail. We'll pretend that doesn't exist. So we're starting out with the Knight of Pentacles. Now, I feel that this is representing you. So the Knight is the slowest moving of the Knights. However, he is very practical and grounded. When he goes on his journey, he has mapped out the plan, the route, and even has a backup. He knows what he's doing. So I feel that whatever this is something that you've been working on or planning for a long time, very meticulously in a lot of cases. And with it being clarified by the Empress in reverse, which says about neediness, creative blocks, and coldness. So these are things that you may have experienced that may have slowed you down, which would make sense with it being the Knight of Pentacles. We've got the Lovers, which is a card of choice. And what's interesting is that it's clarified by the Six of Coins in reverse, which represents selfishness, abuse of kindness, and one-sided relationship. Now, I'm not saying that that's you. That may be something you have experienced. I feel for a lot of you, I think that what the universe is trying to say is to be selfish. Now, not in a horrible way, but, you know, to put yourself first. I think for a lot of you, maybe you have often put other people ahead of yourself, been more concerned about their feelings, their opinions. And I feel that this has been one of the major blocks that you've had or are currently experiencing. That's coming through very, very clearly. Six of Coins often is linked to balance. And when it's in reverse, it's clearly a misbalance. It is unbalanced. But the Strength card here, which is really nice, especially with it being in the middle of the spread. So it's showing me that you have got the strength and the determination to get to where it is you need to go to embark on this journey, whatever it might be. However, what we have to remember with the Strength card is the reason that the woman is holding the lion's mouth is to obviously protect herself, but it's also to protect him from himself. So it's just to bear that in mind, especially with it being clarified by the Queen of Cups in reverse, which is about insecurity, obsession, and spite. Again, I'm not saying that these are things that you are, but what I'm saying is, if, for example, you are up for a job promotion or you've just received news that you've got one, and you were up against somebody that perhaps you don't get on with, you don't particularly like, for a lot of us, it's going to be something that we're probably going to be a bit smug about and potentially would want to rub in their face. What Spirit is advising you to do is to try and avoid those kind of emotions and actions, to just quietly slip away is basically what I'm getting. It's kind of like, yeah, just walking away. We've got the Queen of Pentacles clarified by the Five of Coins, which is really nice because the Queen of Pentacles is very nurturing, very grounded. She's very focused. Got strong earth energy here, especially with the Queen of Pentacles, which is represented by Taurus. And then obviously you've got Capricorn and Virgo as well. Obviously you don't have to have those placements, but if you do, that's a little confirmation for you. Now, with being clarified by the Five of Coins in reverse, is very positive. It says your luck improving, positive changes and recovery. Now, Pentacles are often linked to finances, business, work, and then it being clarified by that. So again, I feel for a lot of you, this is a lot to do with perhaps something to do with work, or perhaps selling of a property or something like that. And then we're finishing with the Fool, which is showing us that you are embarking on this new journey. It is clarified by the Queen of Pentacles, or the Queen of Coins as it is in this deck, in reverse, which says wicked, possessive and manipulative. Again, I'm not saying you have those traits. I think a lot of it is warning to yourself to not potentially fall into any of these characteristics, and to certainly be aware of other people embodying them. I feel that whatever this is something really major and amazing for you, and I think a lot of people are going to be very jealous, and all I can say to that is just walk away. Just walk away. Just don't even lower your energy or vibration to their nonsense. Just walk away. So we ended the reading with the Sun, which is essentially the most positive card in tarot, which is basically telling us everything is going to work out. It is clarified by the Moon in reverse. Now, the Moon is all about things that, it's like our subconscious, things deeper within us that maybe we're not aware of, or that we have pushed to the back of our minds. So it says confusion, fear and self-deception. So I think this is, again, just essentially a pre-warning for yourself not to fall into that. Don't self-sabotage yourself. You deserve this, and you are going to get it, and it's going to be pretty damn awesome, to be perfectly honest with you. I think the main obstacles or issues that you are going to experience, as I said, is people being jealous for a lot of the time. I think maybe there are other people that maybe don't agree with what it is that you're doing, maybe, or aren't happy about it for whatever reason they have. But again, don't let these people get into your head. If this is something that you're truly passionate about, which it clearly shows to me that it is, it's something that you've been working towards for a very long time, these people just don't matter, you know? Prove them wrong is all I'll say. So we're going to close the reading with some advice and messages from your guides. So okay, thank you. We have first quarter. I have the courage to keep going. Absolutely. Waxing gibbous moon. I banish all negativity from my life. Absolutely. That's also something I was that links with this malachite, because malachite is also good for absorbing negative energy. It's more internal absorption than external, so any kind of like self-doubt that you might have, things like of that nature. If you're wanting to protect yourself from external negative energies, i.e. people being jealous assholes, get some black tourmaline, I would suggest, personally. And we have, oh, there's an extra bonus there. We've got intentions. First intend, then believe. go with the flow. The divine has a plan, and be true. There is beauty in authenticity. We have, we're so proud of you. I'm going to put these up here. Pay attention to your dreams. So you may be receiving messages from your guides in your dreams. So it's worth paying attention to them. I know our dreams tend to make no sense and are completely weird and crazy. But when you wake up, anything that sticks in your mind from afterwards, I would, if the message isn't clear instantly, maybe Google it. We have what's stopping you. I'm going to pull 2 more because I want to. We've got you. And finally, stop asking, be present. So that's for anyone that maybe is asking constantly for signs or for something to manifest. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things I think we need to remember with manifesting things, is that if we're constantly asking for something, we're putting it out into the universe that we don't have it. And the universe is just going to continue to reflect that back to us. So put it out there and then be present, and it will come much faster. But everything, like I say, looks like it's going to be turning up very good for you, group 3, and I'm really pleased for you, truly. As I say, just try not to get in your head about things. Don't let people lower your energy or vibration into negative thinking, or, you know, wanting to rub things in people's faces or arguments or whatever your situation is. Be present, crack on, walk with dignity and pride. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.